Hey guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic and welcome back to the channel. And today, if you guys, is another movie review. Today we're tackling Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore, or Fantastic Beasts 3. Now this is going to be a non-spoiler review and then a little bit of a spoiler-esque discussion toward the end. So like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. So this movie's kind of weird because it seemingly came out of nowhere. Because, you know, Crimes of Grindelwald, no one liked, didn't do, I mean, it did okay, I guess, box office. I really enjoyed it. But, you know, the third one, you know, you hear this behind-the-scenes stuff, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's out. It was like that. You know, it was really weird. It was like, there was marketing, of course, but, you know, it didn't feel like Endgame or The Rise of Skywalker or Justice League or, you know, some kind of crazy blockbuster hit. And, you know, the Wizarding World, the Harry Potter movies are freaking amazing. It's one of my favorite franchises ever, Harry Potter. And Fantastic Beasts 1 and 2 are great. So to see that, you know, the third one just kind of popped up, it was like, oh, here's the third one, I guess. Kind of weird. Now, you know, what's the fit? Ezra Miller, who's the Flash, and of course he's Credence or Aurelius Dumbledore. Yeah, apparently he's a bit of a jerk, bit of a weirdo. The choices he makes are really effing weird. He probably shouldn't be making movies. He probably should be in like Arkham Asylum or like some kind of mental hospital. You know, of course, the stuff that he does in real life, beating up old women and whatever the hell he does for fun, I guess, is effed up and bad. But in the movie, he's great. So I just wanted to point that out there. You know, people go, oh, well, this actor did drugs or this actor did this. I don't care. You know, what you do as a person, good or bad, that's on you. What you do in a movie, you know, Ezra Miller's a pretty good actor. Yeah, he beats up old women, I guess, but whatever. You know, I mean, I don't condone that shit, but at the same time, you know, he's a good actor. What do you want me to do? I'm not going to hate the actor because, you know, I mean, I'm not, oh, he's really bad in this film because he beats up people. Like, no, he's good. So going, I guess, with the plot of this film without getting into too many spoilers, it's really about Dumbledore and his secrets. What do you know? But it kind of goes into detail more about, you know, Grindelwald, who is, of course, now played by Mads Mikkelsen or Milkinson or whatever. Now, look, one of my first negatives about this film, and there's a few. They do not explain why Grindelwald looks differently. You know, because in Fantastic Beasts 1, he's like that Colin Farrell dude, and then in the end of the first movie, he's Johnny Depp. And then in the second movie, he's Johnny Depp. Third movie, he's not Johnny Depp. And I guess you could chalk that up to in canon, oh, he's revealed himself and this is his true form. But they didn't have to do that. They don't do it. They don't do anything. They don't address it at all. And yes, I do count that as a negative, because if the film doesn't take itself seriously in that regard, how can I? You know, of course he changed. He looks completely different. He's got the weird F and I, but he's a completely different looking person compared with the Mad Milkman to Johnny Depp, right? They are completely different actors, completely different people. And if you're going to sit there and pretend like nothing happened within the lore and within the canon, he's just, oh, he looks different, but that's just the movie side. That's just the real life. That is a negative, because the movie is now acting as if this is the same guy, and it takes you out of the film. It's really dumb, and they could have easily had one or two sentences explaining what the hell happened, but of course they chose the lazy route and just said, oh, well, he looks different because it's a different actor and Johnny Depp's in prison or court or whatever. It's stupid, it's very lazy, and I don't like it. Now, normally I wouldn't chalk that down to a negative, but again, the fact that they didn't mention it in the lore, in the film, and they're just expecting the audience to go along with it, that is a negative, and I don't like it. So, another negative I have, it's not huge, but there are, and I'll get this to my spoiler area, there's plot points in this film that they set up in the second film, and they get resolved in this film not well. There's a moment with one character and a moment with another character, which I'll get into in the spoiler review. It just happens, and you're like, okay, I guess that's happening. It just happens, and you have to freaking go along with it for the ride. If you question it, you're not going to know what the fudge is going on, and that's a negative. You know, take, for example, you know, character arcs like Luke Skywalker in the sequels, or Iron Man throughout Iron Man 1 to Endgame. You know, or Captain America from the first Avenger to whatever, Endgame, or Thor from Thor 1 to, you know, Love and Thunder. There are character arcs that take time. If you need a character to go from point A to point B, or in this case, A to Z, you need time. You can't just speed that up and expect people to enjoy it, and they do speed things up. Maybe I'm an idiot, maybe I missed it, but of course, I'm going to buy it on Blu-ray, I'm going to watch it again, but from what I have seen in theaters, there are moments where characters just kind of have an epiphany and they're just good, or they just, something happens and that's that, you know, so it's kind of weird. Other than that stuff, though, this movie looks freaking fantastic. The CGI for the Fantastic Beasts looks good. Of course, there aren't as many Fantastic Beasts as, say, the first one, because again, you have to have a plot. You can't just you can't have a 5-movie or a trilogy or whatever of just zoo animals. Oh, look at that beast. You can't do that for the whole movie. You're gonna get pretty freaking bored. So of course, we do get that whole fight with Dumbledore. He can't move against Grindelwald. We can't do this and we can't do that. And there's other parts with Aurelius. Credence, Queen is in there. So there's a lot of really unique elements, and a lot of cool plot points where you have Newt and his brother Theseus kind of going up against Grindelwald in his army. They're kind of gathering kind of a Dumbledore's army type of scenario, kind of like a ragtag group. You got Jacob with the wine, you got the Bunty, the assistant, the black, what's his name, the French guy. You've got there's this new lady, she's kind of like a teacher at Hogwarts. She's really cool, kind of proper, she's kind of badass. So there's a lot of really cool things in there where you're like, all right, these characters are neat, and I like them. Now, the French dude doesn't do a whole lot. He just kind of goes, that's it. He doesn't really do anything other than make the exact same effing facial expression. And I get it, that's his character. He's kind of, some of the funny moments come from his stoic face, but at the same time, it is kind of weird looking that he just, it's like, emote, do something, other than just, whatever. But I enjoy the characters, I enjoy the plot. I think that this is the best, in not only Fantastic Beasts 1 and 2, but the entire Harry Potter franchise. This is one of the best films in terms of fighting. The fight choreography, the fighting, the action scenes, they're effing cool. And I'm not going to get into specifics, but there's some shots in the trailer where, they're kind of running from this big scorpion thing, and there's a shootout, or a wizard wand shootout, a zap out, I guess, in an alley. There's a lot of really cool things in there where you're like, this is cool, and I like this. This is really awesome. It's very, intense, because, look, the second one got a lot of rap and a lot of crap, because, there's not any fighting, it's just a lot of talking and a lot of exposition, but, look, if you're going to have a 5 freaking movie saga, you have to have exposition, or else you're not going to know what the F's going on. And when stuff happens to characters, you don't care, because it's just pew 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 pew, and thankfully 1 had a little bit. 2 was a little bit more on the slow side. I don't mind that. I think that's good. I think that, I really enjoyed Crimes of Grindelwald. This one is, again, more action. It's not just action, and it's not just exposition. There's a lot of unique plot threads in there that are really cool. And again, the action scenes complement that. But going to the, I guess, spoilers, this is kind of the end of the normal review, I guess. I guess I'll talk about Dumbledore. They're apparently, the movie got banned in China because they removed some of the gay dialogue. Now look, you know my stance. I'm straight. I don't agree with those choices that people make. I don't condemn them. They're not horrible people. I'm straight, and I don't give a shit what you do with your life. If you're gay, you're lesbian, whatever. Just do it on your own time. Don't force it down my throat in movies. And sadly, the way the world is, they like to shove it down my throat. But this movie, thankfully, they didn't do that. There's 1 or 2 lines where, look, again, I have to say this without the whole, comment section turning into, frickin' World War III, but as a straight male, hearing about gays and lesbians in my movie, it's a bit cringe-inducing. And for those people, I don't know. If you're that way, do you go like, yes, I'm represented? Or do you just go, oh my god? I honestly don't know. I really don't care. But I don't know, So, without touching upon it that much, it doesn't force it on your throat. If you're kind of on the fence because, Dumbledore's not my Dumbledore. Look, I don't like those choices, but I respect the people. I don't hate those people. It's just when you shove it down my throat in media, it gets kind of cringe-inducing. Again, as a straight male, I'm not watching this movie for that stuff. I'm watching it for the plot. Thankfully, Dumbledore is a fantastic, well-rounded character, right? So him being gay doesn't really change anything. It is a bit weird, I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, again, that's not me. I'm a straight dude. It's just, to me, it's cringe-inducing because I'm not that way. All I'm gonna say. But it is, it doesn't ruin the film. Don't worry. It's not crazy. It could have easily worked if they were brothers or if they were really good friends. So them being a couple, Dumbledore and Grindelwald, doesn't add anything to the film. Again, if anything, it's just cringe-inducing because, like I said, they could have just wrote, oh, they're really good friends, and it's the exact same plot. Them being that way, again, it's there to be there. There's no real plot reason. It's just there. Suck it up and deal with it, I guess. It doesn't ruin the film. I'm not taking any points off. Again, but you know my stance on that. I'm straight, so it is kind of, a little weird to watch a film with that stuff in there. But you do you, I guess. So, moving on from that, I had to mention it because, it was kind of interesting that they did ban it in China for those reasons. I guess the Chinese, I don't know, they're stricter, I don't know. Again, it's just me. That's just how I deal with things. But I guess I'm old-fashioned that way. But again, it doesn't ruin the film in any sense for sure. If anything, it makes Dumbledore kind of a unique character. And again, I'm not saying, yes, we need more of that, or we don't need that, get it away. I'm kind of in a gray spot, you know what I mean? Kind of in a weird area. But it's cool, you know what I mean? Dumbledore and Grindelwald, they are good characters, and they are convincing, and they're very well acted and well written. So, you know, if you can stomach that part of it, which I did, it's not, again, it's not crazy shoved down your throat. It's actually very, very fun to see these characters kind of, you know, kind of just interact and just see, like, yeah, besides that element, they are definitely, you know, you can tell they're friends as well, and they don't want to fight each other. And it's really interesting to see what happens at the end of the film, which again, you're going to have to wait and see. So that's the end of my review. I'm going to give The Secrets of Dumbledore, probably give it an A-. I think that, again, there are certain things that happen in this film just because, and, you know, it is a bit, I guess, whatever my first negative was, but I do think that it is a good film. It is just as on par with, I think, 1. I think probably you go 3, 2, 1. I'm assuming. I know I just said it's on par with 1. I meant to say it's on par with 2. It is a good film, though. I do highly recommend it. If you are on the fence for certain reasons, go watch it. I think you're really going to enjoy it. It does not deserve a 40 whatever the fudge % of Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes is completely full of crap anyway. Give Morbius a freaking 14. You know, look. You trust what you want. You know, you listen to me. I could give this film an A+, which I'm not. I'm giving it an A-. But say I give it an A+, for example, you could go watch this film and say, wow, this is an F. This is horrible. You know what I mean? It's your opinion. You know, it is what it is. So I'm glad you're listening to my review, but again, don't trust my review. Trust your own opinion. Watch the movie. But I do recommend it. You know what I mean? I'm a big fan of Harry Potter. I've watched all the movies countless times. I've played the Lego games. I know a lot about the Wizarding World, and I love this franchise. And I love the Fantastic Beasts franchise. And this is another great film. Again, there are some things that just happen to happen, and, you know, I can't even remember the first negative. I'm filming this at like 11 o'clock at night. But for sure, it definitely has its flaws. But it is better, I think. You know, the action scenes are really cool. There's a lot of good plot elements in there. It could be a little bit confusing for some, you know, that aren't paying attention to the lore. If you're just casually watching it, you might, what the fudge is going on? Other than that, though, I think it's a good film. So, again, A-. Now, we're going to move on to the spoiler section of this video. If you have not seen The Secrets of Dumbledore, make sure to click off now, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So, regarding these spoilers, we get Credence Aurelius. For some reason, he's dying. He's just, I'm dying, I guess. And I guess because he's that weird, like, orb thing, he's, you know, in constant pain. I'm assuming that's the reason. They don't really go into why he's dying. He's just dying, I guess, and they're communicating through the mirrors and all that. And the last thing you see of him, just kind of, you know, Aberforth, Dumbledore's brother, kind of walks him down the stairs. Like, you're okay, buddy. You know, we take you home, get you some soup. I don't know. He's just dying because, like I said, there's these moments where, you know, in the beginning of the movie, he's trying to kill Dumbledore. It's kind of like Draco and Snape, right, in Harry Potter. He's like, all right, I'm going to kill Dumbledore. And there's this really badass action scene. And then Dumbledore just kind of talks to him. And he's like, hey, we're sorry, we didn't mean to. And he's like, okay, I forgive you, I'm good, I guess. It's just, you know, stuff like that. They're building Credence Aurelius up as this vengeful Kylo Ren-esque force to be reckoned with. And then he just suddenly, oh, well, I guess I'm good now. You know, Queenie, same effing thing. Queenie, she doesn't turn evil, but she kind of sides with Grindelwald for reasons that, of course, we've seen in the second film. So, you know, I don't want to say she's evil, but there are moments where, you know, Jacob's like, Queenie, over here! Queenie! And she's just, like, freaking walking, and she's just, I'm ignoring you, Jacob, you know, and then they kind of meet in an alley, and, you know, she's like, I'm not in love with you, Jacob, and Jacob's like, yeah, bullcrap, you're in love with me, and I love you, let's do this, let's leave, let's go together and get out of here. And they get captured, and then I guess in the end she's just good. She just changes. If there was a big character moment and a big arc that really cemented that return from, yeah, okay, I'm gonna side with Grindelwald because he's making good points actually, to, oh, this guy's effing insane, I gotta go back to the light. There was none of that. It was just, boom, she's good. Maybe they did that because they weren't confident in the rest of the, you know, the fourth and fifth film they're planning. I don't know. Maybe I'm the idiot. Maybe I just missed it. If there is a really, you know, legitimate reason why Aurelius is dying, besides the, you know, the thing in the first one where he's like a big black cloud, whatever, and the fact that Queenie just turns it good, again, just because, you know, make sure to tell me in the comments, because it is kind of strange. I mean, it just kind of happens. Dumbledore and Grindelwald's fight scene at the end is fantastic. It's really, really cool, very high energy. They realize that little dumb locket thing breaks, and they're like, they just go at it. It's really cool. Of course, he escapes. So they are leading up to a fourth film, the Chillin', which is kind of funny, so I'm chillin' like the Chillin'. You know, they're kind of in there, you know, it was a bit confusing where, you know, Grindelwald captures one and then kills one and then imbues it with magic so that he can cheat. it's literally kind of true to world events without getting political, how people are just cheating like mad to get into the power, if you know what I'm talking about. But I do think that it very much is a it's a good plot, you know. It's a bit weird because, again, it rings true to today. But again, I don't want to get too political, but I just noticed that. I was like, wow, this is like just like real life. What do you know? There's no animals, but you get the idea, hopefully. So there's a lot of points where it's like, all right, the chillins in there, and apparently they're the most pure animal in the world, and they can sense the goodness. And, you know, it's got some good tension, some good plot points. I like it. But, again, it was a bit confusing where you get the German wizards now, and they're like, oh, Grindelwald's perfectly fine. We erased his crimes, and he's good now. And then he, like, you know, they didn't make it that clear. Because we see him, like, slit the throat of that one chillin', and he, like, takes the blood in the pool or whatever, and, like, he uses magic, and he, like, makes it back to life. And then, you know, Newt is like, that one's dead. And then it dies, and the real chillin' comes up, and that lady wins. So I guess I just explained the whole film. But it works. I'm not, you know, this isn't a negative. It does work. But, again, it was a bit kind of strange that, you know, I'm watching and I'm like, wait, so that one's dead, but how is it alive if it's dead? I must have missed it, and I didn't go to the bathroom. I was there the whole freaking movie. I do remember it. I'm not stupid, but they didn't make it that clear. Much like Queenie's Return, much like, you know, the other thing that I mentioned, it's just, there's so many weird plot with Aurelius. It's just, you know, I don't know what they're going to do with the fourth, because, you know, I was expecting them to kind of take Queenie's is she good, is she bad plot up until the fourth, or maybe even the fifth, to really draw out the reasons why she's there. In this film, she's just kind of standing there, and then she's like, well, I guess I'm good. Aurelius, he tries to kill Dumbledore. Dumbledore's like, hey, yeah, we're sorry. He's like, okay. We're good now. I'm dying, by the way. It's just, it's kind of, you know, I mean, it's kind of weird. It's like, oh, shit just happens, and you just got to roll with it, and if you don't, you're going to get lost. It's kind of weird. Again, that is the main reason why I got an A-. But I do enjoy it, like I said, and I think that these spoilery events I just kind of covered. I think it has a really good, pretty good writing, good action scenes. It's the most entertaining of the three, and I love watching 1 and 2. But this is definitely the most entertaining. And yeah, it is a bit weird. Like, oh, that was my other negative with Grindelwald. They just changed him completely for no freaking reason. No explanation. He's just, you were supposed to pretend it's the same guy, even though they look completely different. They don't explain it. Oh boy, that's a negative. But, for example, you know, if Carrie Fisher, when she passed away in 2016, Rise of Skywalker, they could have gone, well, let's just get another actor who's an old lady. Let's get Betty White, right? Let's just get Betty White in here, and she'll be the new Leia for this movie. It'll be perfect. No one will notice, right? And we won't explain it at all. People would flip the F out. All the fake fans that go, sequels are horrible, they suck. You know, all those morons online that just trash the sequels and the prequels constantly, they're not even fans. Can you imagine what would happen if they just replaced Carrie Fisher with another actress? I swear to God, the whole world would have imploded. It would have been World War III. You know, screw Putin. Carrie Fisher would have done it. You know what I mean? Or whatever the hell's going on politically. Carrie Fisher's death would have done it. And thankfully they chose to do the smart way and just kind of take old scenes from The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi to kind of reanimate and just add a little bit of CG to kind of make Carrie Fisher, you know, a force. And honestly, the CGI in The Rise of Skywalker is perfect. It's probably one of the best looking films ever made, in my opinion, CGI-wise. And every time I watch it, if you sat someone in a room and they didn't know Carrie Fisher died and just said, yeah, that's Leia, they would have believed you. I swear. Hands down. They would have. And they should have done the same thing here to an extent. Or at least give him, you know, 1 or 2 lines, a sentence or two of, oh, you know, he looks different. Or, you know, Grindelwald should have said, like, this is my final form. Or just a throwaway line that the audience could go, oh, okay, that I like that, you know, but they didn't do it. At least I didn't catch it. So, that's about it for The Secrets of Dumbledore. Again, my negatives there, if you're worried about the whole Dumbledore gay thing, it's not that insane. Again, as a dude who likes women, it's a bit cringy because I'm not like that, so it's like, alright, let's skip this shit. You know, again, they could have just been good buddies, but whatever. It is a good film, though. I highly recommend it. And again, if you like Harry Potter and you like Fantastic Beasts, make sure to check it out. I think it's really fun. Without spoiling the film, tell me in the comments down below what you think about The Secrets of Dumbledore. And what's your favorite? Fantastic Beasts 1, 2, or 3? I can't wait for a 4th. And hopefully a 5th. I hope this is not the last one, because again, the way this movie ends, I can't wait. It's got good acting, good writing, good action scenes, good plot, and I really enjoyed this franchise. And, you know, I hope it kind of feels like a Fantastic Beasts franchise is kind of on the back burner. You know, because you got your Marvel, you got your Star Wars, you got your DC, you got, you know, all this stuff. Those are the three titans, you know, Marvel, DC, Star Wars. Fantastic Beasts, it's kind of on the wayside, you know, it's kind of like the little brother to all that. And, alrighty guys, so again, sorry about that, my camera died. It always seems to die right before I'm done filming. Again, I look different because I'm filming this the next day. I had to let the stupid thing charge. Anyway, Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore is a very good film. Again, it's on par with, I think, 1 and 2. It's very good. Again, they don't explain why Grindelwald looks different, and of course, you know, certain characters, which I talked about in the spoilers section of this video, they kind of just, things happen because they happen. Again, maybe I missed it. Make sure to tell me in the comments down below if I'm just an idiot or if the film is actually suffering in those aspects. Anyway, A-, very good film, and you know, I cannot recommend it enough if you're a Wizarding World Harry Potter fan. It's just as good as the other two, and I cannot wait to see what happens for the future of the Fantastic Beasts franchise. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.